The history of the clone troopers begins in a galaxy teetering on the brink of chaos. They were engineered on Kamino, a water world shrouded in storms and secrets, where the cloners meticulously crafted their physical perfection. The clones were based on the genetic template of Jango Fett, a Mandalorian bounty hunter whose reputation for skill and resilience made him the ideal subject. Each clone was designed to be a precise replica of Fett, stripped of individuality at first glance, but, paradoxically, each growing into a unique being within the confines of their shared purpose. From the moment of their creation, clone troopers were bred for war. Their growth was accelerated, allowing them to reach physical maturity in half the time it would take a standard human. Though this process gave them a tactical advantage in terms of readiness, it also imposed an inevitable burden on their longevity, a reality that few clones had the luxury to contemplate. Their lives were an unending march of preparation for a war they did not choose but were duty-bound to fight. On Kamino, they spent their formative years in rigorous training under the watchful eyes of their Kaminoan overseers and hired Mandalorian instructors, molding them into precise instruments of the Republic's military strategy. The war that gave the clones their purpose, the Clone Wars, was a galaxy-spanning conflict between the Galactic Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems CS. The clones served as the backbone of the Republic's Grand Army, a force that brought cohesion to the chaos of battle. As they stepped onto the battlefields for the first time, their pristine white armor gleaming under alien suns, they became symbols of hope to the Republic's citizens and unyielding resolve to their enemies. Each trooper bore a helmet that obscured their features, erasing their individuality and turning them into an almost mythic entity, the Clone Army. Yet beneath the helmets and within the standardized armor, the clones were not soulless automatons. Though their minds were conditioned to follow orders without hesitation, the humanity within them could not be wholly suppressed. They developed camaraderie, bonds forged in the fires of battle, and even distinctive personalities that emerged despite the genetic and psychological molding. Troopers often decorated their armor with unique markings, symbols, or paint schemes that reflected their units, allegiances, or even personal sentiments. This rebellion against uniformity revealed an intrinsic truth: they were individuals with thoughts, emotions, and aspirations, no matter how deeply buried. The clones' commanders were often Jedi, generals who became both leaders and confidants to the troopers. The Jedi, with their connection to the Force and their principles of selflessness, inspired many clones to strive beyond their conditioning. This bond between the clones and the Jedi was a peculiar paradox. The clones had been created as pawns in a game orchestrated by Darth Sidious, the Sith Lord manipulating the war from the shadows. Sidious's ultimate plan would pit the clones against their Jedi allies in a betrayal so complete that it would redefine the galaxy's balance of power. The relationship between clones and Jedi varied. Some troopers, like Captain Rex of the 501st Legion, developed profound respect and loyalty toward their Jedi generals. Rex's relationship with Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano exemplified the deep trust that could grow between the two. Others, shaped by the harsh realities of war or by Jedi commanders less adept at bridging the gap between species and mindsets, maintained a more professional and detached stance. Still, the Jedi's lightsabers and the clones' blasters often found harmony in battle, a synchronization of skill and strategy that few armies could rival. As the Clone Wars dragged on, the toll on the clones grew heavier. Their sacrifices became increasingly evident. The war's intensity and unrelenting pace left no time for recovery, emotionally or physically. Troopers who survived their injuries were often patched up and sent back into the fray with little regard for their well-being. For many, death became an expected conclusion, not an event to be feared but a reality to be embraced as the price of duty. Yet, despite this, there were moments of respite, brief interludes of laughter, storytelling, and connection that revealed the humanity that persisted even amidst the carnage. The clones faced an enemy that was, in many ways, a distorted mirror of themselves, the droid armies of the Separatists. Where the clones embodied the ingenuity and spirit of organic beings, the droids epitomized mechanical efficiency and cold calculation. Each engagement between these forces was a philosophical duel as much as a physical one, with the clones proving time and again that strategy, adaptability, and sheer willpower could overcome the numerical superiority of their artificial adversaries. Unbeknownst to most clones, their loyalty was not only bred but also programmed. Buried deep within their genetic structure was an inhibitor chip, a tiny piece of bioengineering that ensured their obedience to a single, devastating order, Order 66. The chip's existence was a carefully guarded secret, known only to the highest levels of the Sith's conspiracy. When the order was issued, the clones, loyal to their Jedi generals to the very last, turned their weapons on them without hesitation, their humanity suppressed by the device's compulsion. Order 66 was the turning point, the moment that forever altered the clones' legacy. What had been an army of heroes became an instrument of betrayal, executing Jedi across the galaxy in an orchestrated purge that shattered the Republic and gave rise to the Galactic Empire. Many clones were haunted by their actions in the aftermath, their memories of the Jedi conflicting with the loyalty demanded by the chip's programming. For others, the programming was too absolute to permit such reflection, and they served the Empire as obedient enforcers. Yet even in the shadow of the Empire, the individuality of the clones could not be wholly extinguished. Some, like Rex and a small group of rebels, managed to remove their inhibitor chips, breaking free from the chains of the Empire's control. These defectors often found themselves on the run, hunted as traitors to the regime they had once served. Their stories became part of a broader resistance, a rebellion that would ultimately rise against the tyranny of the Empire. Clone troopers were more than just soldiers, they were a testament to the complexities of loyalty, identity, and choice. Created as tools of war, they nonetheless carved out their own destinies within the narrow confines of their circumstances. Their journey from the gleaming halls of Kamino to the battlefields of countless worlds, from symbols of hope to instruments of betrayal, is a saga that resonates deeply within the larger tapestry of galactic history. The aftermath of Order 66 marked a bleak chapter for the clone troopers. With the Jedi all but eradicated, the galaxy transitioned from the Republic to the Empire. For the clones, this meant an uneasy shift from soldiers of liberation to enforcers of oppression. Once hailed as saviors, they now patrolled the streets of Coruscant and other worlds under the banner of the Empire, their presence a reminder of the price the galaxy had paid for its so-called peace. The Empire, under Emperor Palpatine, viewed the clones as expendable. Despite their unparalleled service during the Clone Wars, the accelerated aging that made them an efficient fighting force also rendered them a liability in the long term. The Empire's preference for loyalty over competence eventually led to the gradual replacement of clones with recruits and conscripts. These new soldiers, though less skilled and less cohesive, were easier to manipulate and control, reflecting the Empire's focus on ideological subjugation over military efficacy. For the clones, this transition was devastating. Many struggled with a loss of purpose as they were phased out of active duty. While some continued to serve the Empire, others were discharged or abandoned entirely, left to fend for themselves in a galaxy that often regarded them with suspicion or indifference. Some clones, like Rex, Gregor, and Wolfeef, found ways to survive outside the Empire's reach, living in isolation or joining rebel cells in defiance of the regime that had discarded them. Despite these hardships, the legacy of the clones endured. The rebellion against the Empire carried echoes of the unity and resilience that defined the clone army during the Clone Wars. Their sacrifice and determination became a source of inspiration, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the spirit of resistance could not be extinguished. For many rebels, the story of the clones served as a cautionary tale of loyalty misplaced and a call to fight for a cause that truly mattered. Even as the rebellion gained momentum, the clones' past remained a shadow over the galaxy. Some rebel factions sought out surviving clones, not only for their military expertise but also to understand the truth of what had happened during the war. The clones' knowledge of the Jedi, the Republic, and the rise of the Empire became invaluable in the struggle to restore freedom. For the clones themselves, these alliances offered a chance at redemption, an opportunity to fight once more for a cause they could believe in. The story of the clones is a testament to the complexity of identity and the enduring power of choice. Despite being engineered for obedience, they repeatedly demonstrated their capacity for individuality and moral agency. From their acts of defiance against the Empire to their sacrifices during the Clone Wars, the clones left an indelible mark on the galaxy. Their legacy, though marred by tragedy, stands as a poignant reminder of the cost of war and the enduring value of hope. The bonds forged among the clones were unbreakable, transcending the circumstances of their creation. In battle, they were brothers. each willing to lay down their life for the other. This unity was a source of strength, enabling them to overcome overwhelming odds and emerge victorious in countless engagements. It also underscored the humanity at the heart of their existence, a humanity that could not be entirely suppressed by their conditioning or the inhibitor chips. As the galaxy moved forward, the memory of the clones lingered in the stories told by those who had known them. Jedi who had survived the Purge spoke of their bravery and loyalty, even in the face of betrayal. Citizens of the Republic remembered the relief they had felt when the white armored troopers arrived to defend their homes. And the rebels who fought against the Empire carried with them the lessons of the clones' struggle, lessons that would guide them in their fight for freedom. In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the clones remain a poignant symbol of what it means to fight for something larger than oneself. Their journey from creation to conflict, from betrayal to redemption, is a story of resilience, sacrifice, and the unyielding pursuit of purpose. For those who remember them, the clones are not just soldiers or pawns of the Empire's schemes. They are a testament to the enduring spirit of those who seek to make a difference, even when the odds seem insurmountable.